Welcome back, CNG 132. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Hope everyone stayed warm and safe, even if your plans were canceled. Let's see, for this week and the next couple days, so week and 2 days, we wrap up this um, this course. Project 15 does have some. Um, it has one part that is optional if it loads. And basically, it's like a self-assessment on how you're doing um, on the internet. So optional, do project 1. Or 15.1 in the project sections, and basically it's just like kind of self-assessing your footprint on the internet. Um, I know if I did a Google search from a different computer, uh, hopefully, unless anything's changed, hopefully my footprint on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, um, MySpace, uh, hopefully that's relatively small. And what people do see, let's see what I can bring up. What people do see is very limited. George Lemos, Fort Collins. Okay, so on this search, um, you know, George Lemos at from range. I'm on Rate My Professor. Been verified. I don't know what that is. That's my old street address, one of them. Adjunct instructor at Front Range. LinkedIn. There's my LinkedIn account. Facebook. That's not me. Not me. Not me. Okay, so that came back relatively cool. Let's see if we go to images. And maybe since you guys haven't seen me all semester, um, for the last, let's do this. For the last extra credit assignment, if you can find a picture of me on the internet, I know they're out there. I've searched them before, but if you can find a picture out there of me on the internet, last extra credit for the semester, um, feel free to submit that. Let's see, where's our extra credit discussions? I think I went to the wrong one. Feel free to submit that and see if you can't find a photo of me on the internet. New topic. Choose forum. EC. Find. There we go. Find me. So there we go. So that's the last one. Find an image of me on the internet. Um, and just post it in there. Week 15 is our last week. Once again, we see how everything in the entirety wraps up and concludes within this book. Security Plus is the, let's see, if we're going to rate Security Plus in the certification lists, it would be, you'd be well into the middle tier of um, certifications. I know students who are A plus certified, so that's CNG 120. They've taken that course and been A plus certified through CompTIA. I've known students, or I should say, I know students that are 132 Security Plus certified right now, and they're working towards Net Plus, CNG 124, 125. So I would say when you go to start to apply for jobs, start to really look at where was I going with this? Yeah, when you're looking for jobs, and this has been asked in Google Hangouts. Why do Kaplan? Why do MTAs? This is going to set you apart from the score of people applying for the same position you are. Um, if you're going for a technician two, or you're just starting out and you're trying to get your feet used to being in the IT world, a help desk, you know, having these certifications open the door for you significantly. I don't know any help desk position that asks for Security Plus or Network Plus, but having the knowledge of A Plus at a help desk technician really gets your foot in the door, because they understand that you know how computer hardware software works. When you're starting to apply for those technician two positions, have an understanding of security, have an understanding of how the network operates. That's a higher end tech two and even server administrator type position. So make sure when you're doing this program, or even your program at Front Range, take advantage of the incentives offered at the campuses. I know Larimer campus right now is the only one that does the MTA, Microsoft Technology Associate. You don't. I don't think you need a voucher. Just make sure you schedule it at the Larimer campus. They're the only ones doing it. The Kaplan code, you have 180 days after this, or not after this course. You have about 90 days, 60 days after this course to keep on working on Kaplan and go get certified. Do the random. We did. You should have done practice test A, B, or C to get that 70 or better. At this point, after you've been rehearsing this for a while and after the semester ends, start the random test. Start seeing what the other questions look like in that pool. And start quizzing yourself on how well you retain this knowledge. Security Plus, like I said, is more just using logic, theory, to look for the best answer to your question. Well, I shouldn't say the best answer to solve your question. Where A Plus is more, looking for the best answer. What's the best way to fix this? And while Net Plus is just hard facts. What are the speeds of this? What are the speeds of that? In that realm. With that, chapter 15, I believe it's under ending risk management. 15, yeah, risk management part 2. Understanding risk management. You have to validate risk or risk mitigation. Understand that risk will never truly go away after you validate it. Understand that. What are you going to do with it? Are we going to transfer that risk to a third party? Are we just going to say, hey, we're okay with having passwords? We're okay with the risk of having passwords at 8 characters long with a special character, a capital, and a number required. Or perhaps you're more like Front Range and say, you know what, we're not going to accept the risk of having an 8 character password. We're going to bump this up to 15. But remember, as you look at security, and I've seen some of the best memes on LinkedIn, you always want to balance the CIA triangle. So you want to do you always want to balance this confidentiality, integrity, availability, because when it's out of balance, let me see if I can find it. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it on the fly. And I know it's on LinkedIn, but it has basically a cat door, and it has security listed. And basically every time another layer of security is added, the cat door gets smaller and smaller until like the cat can like barely squeeze through, and then once it's so small that the cat can't fit its head through, the cat just jumps over the little barricade. And that's what exactly users are going to do. If it gets too difficult for users, they're just going to jump over your barricade and find alternate ways. I forgot what company it was, but I was talking with somebody, and to bypass the company's security methods, employees were reaching out to a VPN site and leave it to employees to find workarounds. Um, Employees were reaching out to a VPN site, logging into that VPN, and then from that VPN they could go to Facebook, they could go anywhere they wanted, and that was a direct link. But then that VPN also allowed for the direct download of documents that weren't allowed because that's a connection from that computer to that VPN. So basically a private line all the way out. With that, I had one email about the security policy. Make sure you only do one. Wait, let me back up. Make sure you only do 2 security policies in your assignment, and then submit that in your security policy Dropbox there. So I just only need 2. The test is including chapters 13, 14, and 15. The final exam, I believe that's everything from chapter 1 and on. Next Monday, I will deploy the skills final that I usually do in the face-to-face classes, but it's a way for you guys to judge yourselves and what you've learned. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. You guys have a good Monday. I will start hammering out grading today and get it all caught up. That way you can look at what you've done. If you have any outstanding work, make sure to get that work in. No points or some points are better than no points. No points are the worst of all. And once again, I usually don't mark off points for late stuff. If it's like if it's missing parts, I'll just mark it down. But you always have the option to come back and regrade those.